How important was that?
I think very.
It was good, and like we did that actually before we even got engaged or anything. Like it was because it's important. Like it's an important conversation to have because this person you're obviously going to share your life with.
Yeah.
You're also going to co-parent, right? So if you're not aligned at that stage, it's going to come up later.
Do you think you have that conversation 10 years before? Like if you were dating 10 years prior?
If you're dating anybody, because obviously with us, like you're dating with the intent to marry that person. Yeah, there's no, like, who cares if you're going to have the kid 10 years down the track?
100%.
Have the conversation early to understand where your foundations lie, where your principles lie. Make sure you're aligned. Obviously you're going to have godly principles to guide you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's no point finding out after you've had a kid that one parent is like super like liberal, let the kid do whatever they want, and the other one is like super strict.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's going to come up and it's going to be a very big area that can really rub you the wrong way. You know, like it's going to be a friction. Like,
because you sort of don't know what type of parent you're going to be until you have the kid, but you know what values you want to place and set in store for that kid.
Yeah, and even though we're very aligned in a lot of ways, there's also bits that we're a little bit different. I think fundamentally, it's not the fundamentals.
It's a different story, 100%.
Yeah, but like obviously, and it's pretty consistent. Most guys are the more relaxed parent, and mums are generally a little bit more anxious, a little bit. Not saying that Jane is an anxious parent and like hovering.
I see what you're saying.
Like if you put it on a scale, she's going to lean a little bit more that way. I'm going to lean a little bit more the other way. So even being
case scenario.
Oh yeah. Also the fact that she's an ambo. She's only seen worst case scenarios.
Yeah.
So that jumps to mind, right?
Yeah.
So even being so aligned, you're still gonna, I wouldn't say tension, but there's still gonna be points where you're gonna like be up against each other. So
that's the whole compromise thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why at least if you're solid in your foundation and your key principles, the other bits you can work on, and you will have to, like, nothing's going to be perfect.
I'm not married, but I'm going to assume that's marriage in general though, right?
With everything.
You have your fundamentals, the thing that you built, well, your foundation's Christ, so you've built your relationship on that, and anything he says goes, and that's how you're going to raise your relationship. But then when there's those odd differences, it's just compromising the entire way.
It's not just odd. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like stuff you never even think to talk about, right? Because we did like marriage counseling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it hits all the obvious stuff that you would think to talk to about someone before you get married, right? Like, and obviously when you do your marriage counseling, there's sort of like a guideline on how to talk, what you need to talk about,
how to resolve it, like conflict.
Yeah, and it sort of teaches you some parts, like how to talk and all of that. But it's like your finances. How do you want to deal with finances? How do you want to deal with when it comes to an argument, or how do you want to deal with that? Which, funnily enough, I didn't want to do marriage counselling. She did, but I'm the one that keeps bringing up marriage counselling.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So annoying. So annoying.
But yeah, some advice for when you do start dating and looking for that person that you married. Talk about everything and be very open and honest. Because literally, like, there's no point agreeing early, only to when you actually get married. Is like, no, I didn't actually mean that. This is what I wanted to do with anything.
Yeah.
So just any topic, it can be big or small. Like, obviously, you're going to have your big conversations that are deep, and there'll be ones that are not as deep. But still, be honest of like, this is my expectation of what I expect my day to look like, what I expect of you as a wife to do, or her expectation of what I expect of my husband. Just be open, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Breakfast in bed.
Exactly. Have that conversation.
Really?
She goes, I expect breakfast in... She doesn't, but...
Yeah.
Well, she hasn't told me she does.
She's holding that against you.
Yeah. But if it's like, nah, every Sunday morning I'm expecting you to bring me breakfast in bed. And then your expectation, no, Sunday mornings is I go for a big run, or I'm out, like, or I want to sleep in.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's a small, minor thing.
But do it.
But have that conversation, because when you get married, and then she's going to build up resentment about, why is my breakfast not here on a Sunday morning?
Yeah.
And you're just...
How doesn't he know that?
And you're sitting there snoring in bed.
Do you even love me?
Exactly.